I didn't want to wear my work shoes or I didn't want to wear the shoes that I was going to wear to the festival because I didn't want my feet to get tired because I was going to do a lot of walking and I wanted to save my feet for the walking. And so then God led me to, he's like, take your work shoes, and then throw them away when you're done. And I was like, that means I have to buy another pair of work shoes. Okay, well, I guess they probably need to be replaced because I've been wearing them for a while and I don't want them to wear out. And so I get to, as I was thinking about this on the way home from work on Friday, God reminded me that I had kept my old shoes from the last time he had me buy shoes. And I was like, oh yeah, oh my goodness, I don't have to wear my work shoes to the appointment. I can wear my nasty old worn out shoes that look like I just walked through 2,000 miles of hell and, wear those and then just throw those away. And I can take socks that I don't like wearing because of whatever, and I can put those in the trash with those shoes. Well, there's a reason God has you do everything. Okay, so I take those shoes and I've got I put those shoes on and I've got my dress shoes in my bag. So I get to, the man drops me off at Safeway, I get my coffee, I get a breakfast burrito, and then I come back and as the lady is doing my feet, I'm eating my breakfast burrito and then I'm drinking my coffee. And which the coffee and the burrito were a blessing because I had $3 left on my app, my Starbucks app. And God says, use your $3 and then take the remainder in dollars, not the 20s and the 5s. Take the dollar bills and count out what you need. And so I did. And so then after that, I went and I sat down, I started eating my food, and the lady is very short, like she's very, and so I came in and she goes, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I'm here for my pedicure. And she goes, do you have an appointment? I said, yes. I said, I might have an appointment at 9:30 a.m. And she goes, okay. And she goes, she'll do you over there. And then so she goes, pick your color. And I picked my color. And she's very short. She's like that for a reason. She doesn't let you in right away. And so she saw my shoes and she's like, So I take off my shoes, I get into the water, I pull up my pants, because that's why God led me to wear those pants, because any other pants would have been hard to pull up. But these ones, they were so easy to pull up. And anyway, and I'm sitting there, and she's doing my nails, I'm getting my back massaged by the chair, which, by the way, feels like I've been carrying the entire world my entire life. Oh, it just hurts. And so, after the appointment, I thought I was going to pay like $45. The lady that was next to me paid $35. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds about right. I get up to the front, to the pay, and she goes, $25. And I was like, so I gave her $30. I give the lady $5 tip, which I will make it up next time because I like tipping the ladies that do my feet, especially if they do a really good job. And this lady, she set my feet up for the next one. So the nails are going to start to flatten out. They're going to start. There are certain areas of my body that show the witchcraft and show the warring that I've been having to do in the physical. They are reflections of the life that I have lived and that the things that God has brought me out of. The biggest testimony is going to be my dog, because he really does reflect the things that they've done to me. This woman wanted my hair. She wanted my hair because her hair, in her family, the hair is very thin and very fragile. My hair is very strong, very thick. And God does say, a woman's crown is her hair. And I remember when I was married, I went to her house for something, and you could start to see my hair thinning out right here. You can't see it no more. But it was like all the way in here was thin. And my hair was frail. What happened to my dog is what she wanted to happen to me. She was taking my hair. She was taking my health. She was taking my life. She was taking everything from me. Until this moment, I hadn't even realized that you can't see. Because you used to be able to, when you look in the mirror, you could see the hair was missing. I only had a few hairs. And I've always had a full head of hair. I've never been thin. And now my hair is starting to come back. Like, I used to have a small forehead. My hair, all of this was full of hair. But she did all kinds. That's why God early on led me to take care of my own hair and removed me from allowing her to touch my hair. But she still had access to my brushes. She still had access to me. And because she still had access to me, she had access to my hair. And I can tell you, when I was married, my hair would fall out in clumps. I mean, clumps of hair would fall out. And I thought I was going to go bald. And I had a scare of a lump on my breast. And I realize now that all of it was the witchcraft that they were doing and the things that they were doing in secret. Because in my bloodline, none of this is part of my bloodline. And so I had no idea of any of this until God started to show me. And so yesterday he led me to have my hair down. He's like, no, I want you to have your hair down. I did finally put it up when I got home, because this kind of hair, you try to go to pick something up, and it's like it gets everywhere. And so, but I love my hair. It's my natural color. It's been this color since I was born. I've never dyed it or done, well, I shouldn't say never. I have dyed it, but only on the ends, and God always led me to allow my hair to grow out before I cut it. And so he has been taking care of my hair ever since. And it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. It looks better than it's ever looked. And I can't wait, because I know when I've seen, okay, I can't believe God is letting me do it. So I have had 2 dreams now. In the first dream, I saw my dog, Apollo, in the current condition, and then I saw this other dog, and he was a spitting image of my dog. And I was like, wait, why are there 2 Apollos? And then he brought me back to a memory about having 2 dogs, that a mother and a son who looked the same. And I was like, they're related? And he goes, no, it's the same dog. He shows me what, he's already shown me what Apollo's going to look like once he starts reversing everything. And it started. It has already. My hair is the beginning of that reversal. And I know that as things get reversed, he's gonna, it's gonna be like night and day. And I'm telling you, I'm already seeing hair growth. Yes, he still scratches a lot, but I can't explain it. You'd have to see it. And I will take pictures along the way so you see the healing. But it's not, I'm not going to share them until God leads me to, because there are specific reasons why God wants me to share at a certain time. Anyway, so I'm done with the appointment. I've paid my money, and now I'm waiting for my Uber. But he's 10 minutes away, so I'm like, ooh, I have time to. God's like, wait, didn't you say you're going to put your lipstick on when you got here? Because you didn't want the men to see you with your makeup on? I'm like, okay. So I walked into the bath. I asked to use the restroom, and the lady goes, no. And I was like, thank you. And I walk into the bathroom. And so I get in there, I go to the bathroom, and I put my lipstick on, and then, of course, like, dab it and all that. And I walk out of the bathroom, and then she says, bye-bye, and 2 minutes, and my Uber's going to... No, my Uber was there, but not... he was just pulling in, because I could see it on my app. And then, so I walked outside of the place, and I could see a gray car, like, parked there. And I was like, is that my Uber? So I sent him a note saying, hey, the nail place is at the end of the shopping center. And so when he got the text message, he came over and he's like, oh, I'm waving so he knows it's me. And I get in the car and we take off. Okay, let me tell you, this man went the wrong way. And I'm like, where is he going? I'm going to the west side. He's going south. And then he realized he was going the wrong way. He turns on Broadway. And I was like, okay, he's going to the 101. So he heads to the 101, gets on the 101. Everything's great. We get onto the 202. Everything's great. Then we go into onto the 10. And I'm thinking in my head, because God says, don't say anything. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm going, get on the carpool lane. Get on the carpool lane, get on the carpool lane, get on the carpool lane. Every turn we took, we hit traffic. Every turn, there was traffic. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get there. And so finally, he gets a break and we start to move. And then as we're transitioning to the next freeway, and God brought something back to me, and he goes, isn't this interesting? Isn't this the same thing that happened to you when you were on your way to California and I turned you around? And I'm like, do I need to turn around? Do I need to go back? And he goes, no. But isn't it interesting? And I'm like, okay, it's interesting. And then the flow opened up again and we started to go through. And all of it is prophetic. I'm telling you, you have to see into the words that are being spoken, okay? First, we hit traffic. We get detoured. Or first, I get detoured to miss problems, to miss things. By the way, when I got dropped off by the bus on the corner where I got picked up by the Uber who dropped me off at the nail place, I heard the noise first. And then I saw this car with a lot of smoke, so you couldn't see anything over there, but I heard the sound of sirens. And then I saw police officers going to the area that I would have been in to get the next bus. So now, I get my nails. My coffee was taking forever. I thought I was going to be late. I'm like, come on, I didn't make it this far to freaking be late. And then God led me to go look for a clear bag. And I'm like, okay, so I went and I looked for a clear bag, couldn't find one. Finally, I went back to get my nails done, got out, threw away the bag, got on the Uber, got stuck in traffic. Then we went. Then the flow stopped. And then we went. And it was flowing again. And then it slowed down a little bit to a very light traffic stop. But it was still going. It was just really slow. And then we get into the open road, and now it's free flowing. God had me do that all over again. That's why he had me post the word twice, because there's going to be someone or something that is, you're seeing a mirror. You're seeing doubles, and you're not understanding what God is telling you. And this is what God is telling you. That it's a slow down, and then you're going to get to another place, and it's going to slow, and it's going to go moving slow, and then it's going to be fast. And sorry, there's somebody walking across my window, and that's why I keep looking back. Anyway, so I finally, we get there, and he doesn't know where to take me. And he's like, where do you want me to drop you off? I'm like, right here's fine. He drops me off. I go through. There's no line. I'm on the VIP side, and there's no line. So first things first, I show my ID to the guy. I show my ticket, get through the VIP. The guy, the security guard, looks at me and says, that bag is too big, man. And my heart sank. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, but I'm like, do you need to see inside my bag? I could take everything out. And I had started to take everything out of my bag, and I was opening it to him. And he goes, okay, you're fine. I closed it up, and I went through. And then I got my VIP ticket. Then I went through the thing. And first thing I did was I walked around, kind of getting the idea of everything. And then I saw the salsa bar. I went to the end, came back around, and then I went through the salsa bar. And I got all the salsas, everything. I got 2 bowls, blah, blah, blah. I got everything I needed. And then I get to the VIP area. Well, before I get to the VIP area, I had 2 drink tickets that came with my VIP package. And I didn't know this, but it comes with a shirt too. I found that out later. Anyway, so I get my first drink, got $12, gave the bartender $2 tip, and because he was really good, he was funny and interesting, and so I went, sat down, ate my salsa, had some conversation with a couple of people, and then I got up, got my other one, and went back and sat down. I had to go to the bathroom. Got up, went to the bathroom, came back. My seat was gone, and God led me to sit on so it was lawn chairs that had the feet part of it, and feet stool or whatever, stool. I never know how to say that word. And so I sat down on that, on the edge, but it almost the legs almost went out from under me, but luckily I sat back, and they got stuck, so I stood up a little bit and pulled it the rest of the way. And so I was talking to this older couple, and we were having a good time, and we were just chit-chatting, talking about the old days. And then they're like, okay, we need to make sure you're the right kind of person, or what do you vote? And God has already shown me, don't judge people because they want you to be a certain party. But God had led me to vote Republican, and that's what I've been. And I identify Republican, but it's not, I don't idolize it. It's a part of our ability as Americans to make choices about our leadership. It has nothing to do with beliefs of faith or destruction. Lucifer has created that. Lucifer has created the division so that the 2 parties can no longer look at each other and see each other as Americans. Now they're the devil's work. And as long as we continue to judge each other and look at each other with anger and hatred, instead of looking at each other with love and understanding and acceptance and agree to disagree as brothers and sisters, as creatures of our Father, then we will always be divided. But until we can come together And we can say with all certainty, love conquers all, because God is love. We will never understand. Not to judge each other. So I told him I'm Republican. And I said, and you can thank Reagan for that, because he was my favorite president. He did so much for this country, and I know people don't recognize it and they don't see it, and it's okay. But he was a good man, and he made good decisions based on God, the decisions that God. Now, can the Democrats have a God-faithed president? Yes, they can. John F. Kennedy was such a president. Lincoln was another president. George Washington was another president. The party is not the issue. The issue is when we start to judge each other and we make a wall. And Lucifer comes into that space and creates division and anger and hatred, and now we're turning on each other and trying to... Anyway, so we had a great conversation, and because of the conversation we had when I went to the bathroom, he had another conversation with another gentleman. That gentleman was led to bless the older man, because he was retired, with another drink. And because that man blessed him with a drink, this man, his name's Andy, gave me his ticket. Because God was just telling me, you need to get another drink. And I'm like, okay, I had 2 drinks. I paid for one. That means I spent $11 out of my own pocket. This I already came with. But now I paid, they're $11. 11. Anyway, so as I'm talking to this man, he goes, you know what? I'm going to pay it forward, because God put it in his heart. God put it in his heart. Because I was just talking to God, and I'm saying, Father, yes, I want to get another drink, because you're telling me to get another drink, but that's $11. And I just went and I got food, and because that's why I bought the other drink, the third drink, because I bought food, and I bought a taco, and it was delicious, it was good, and the taco was only $4.50, and the alcohol was only $11. So total I spent $15.50. Yes, God is talking in numbers, and if you don't know your numbers, you're not going to understand. So go back to Tara, because she can teach you. Watch her videos, because she's a teacher. And so this gentleman gives me his drink, and his little ticket is like about to fall apart. And I didn't get up right away, because God didn't lead me to get up right away. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and we're talking. Finally, I was telling them about their shirt. I'm like, did you get your shirt? Because I noticed God highlighted they didn't have shirts. And I'm trying to hurry, because I've only got 5 minutes left before this one runs out, and then I have no more space to record. So I tell them to go get their shirts. They get their shirts, and they come back. They say, we're leaving. So at that time, I had already gotten my last drink. The woman that was the wife of the gentleman who blessed the older gentleman with a drink, because he was retired, was sitting there, and she was starting to fall asleep, because she had already had, like, I think 5 drinks. And I noticed God highlighted her purse. And so I started talking to her about her purse and where she got it. And she's like, oh, and I was like, oh, I thought she was angry, because she didn't look happy. But she was just, that's her way. She's not as outgoing as I am. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't judge her for it. I stayed open to God to lead me however he felt led to lead me. So anyway, I talk about her purse. She tells me where she bought it. She told me she has different kinds depending on where she's going. She uses them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to look at Amazon, and I need to start, because God is leading me to things that I'm going to be doing in the future. And all venues are going to start requiring you to have either a see-through bag or a very tiny, tiny box. You're not going to be able to take more than the size of a credit card and your ID. And so you're going to have to make concessions. You're going to have to make, until the things are changed for the better, until God has completed the return to him, we're going to have to work through the world. And But he's going to lead us. And as long as we lead him, we're going to buy the things that are going to help us in the future and not hinder us. Anyway, so we talk about her bag, and then I say my goodbyes. I get in my car, or I go down the street, and I start ordering an Uber. And then this gentleman comes up, and of course the lady that let me out, she told me, you can't come back in. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving, so I'm fine. So as I'm standing there, I grab a pole, because, I need to hold on to something. Not because I'm tipsy, but because I'm wearing heels, and I have a tendency to rock when I'm standing still. So I'm using to keep me still. And so I'm ordering my Uber, and the first Uber I pulled up was $60, and I'm like, I can't do that, Father. And he goes, close it out, walk a little further. And I did. I walked a little further, and I found another spot. And he goes, okay, now look. And then I looked up the address to the Circle K where he wanted me to go, because now I understand. So I looked it up. I put it so I added a stop. That's part of the reason why it was $60. I added a stop. My Uber dropped by $20. It was only $40. Now, at this point, I have $94 left. After the alcohol I purchased, I had $84 left. I still have to pay my phone, which is $45 because it's on a payment plan. So that means I only have $50 left after the phone goes through. No. So I have $40 left, or more closer to $35. So I'm not going to have the money next week that I need to Uber home at night. And I'm like, that's fine, Father. If I have to take the bus, I will take the bus. And he goes, no, you're not taking the bus. I need you to take an Uber. And I was like, you need me to have faith to take the Uber. Okay. So this gentleman who was at an exit comes up to me, opens the door, and he goes, do you need to get in? And I'm like, no, I'm going home. And God goes, if you would have said yes, he would have let you in. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going home. I want to go home. So I'm going home. And this gentleman is talking the whole way home. Usually they talk a little bit and they leave me alone. But he was just too much into the conversation, and we were having a good time. Yeah, we were. God was so good to me. And so we get to the Circle, and he goes, I see that there's 2 stops. Can I ask why? And I said, I want to go to the Circle K because I need to get something at the Circle K. And he goes, okay, I get you there. So he got me to the Circle K, and then my phone is about to die. I get home, and there will have to be a part 4. Sorry, guys. God bless. Love you all.